we'll
Yeah,
talk about
'cause
it.
I think I'm kind of right about that. My theory. So how have you been?
Busy. Just saying, the last meeting I was up in Meridian, or it's just up in Meridian, I just finished a week, I got back yesterday afternoon. So 4 months extra shifts there, so that's towards the new house.
Oh,
Busy. I have 5 days off in the month of August, and all the other days are 24-hour shifts for the whole day, so this is one of my days.
yeah, it's one of those too. It's like, and I work usually, I start seeing people now. And it's from the ship. And 7 o'clock is, something around.
Yes.
Usually get home about 9:30. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I see a lady, I had 5 days off this month.
And that's the whole month.
For the whole month, yeah, all the other days are 24-hour shifts.
How you do
Well,
that?
because I mean, I'm sleeping for part of it, I mean.
Yeah, but it's not good sleep.
No, especially not.
Hello, Lauren.
Hello.
Hey, Matt. We have to get going, it's 2 after 1. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh, thank you.
Those are the safety plan.
Oh.
Is that the safety plan? Yay, thank you.
I guess we're missing.
And this is the new one. It's amazing that it's not, they don't have one. Great, thank you. I mean, we were told, thank you, we were told they didn't have one, so thank you for this.
I'm not sure how different it is from what it used to be, but
But you know it's different from what it used to be?
I don't have that one to compare it to, so it's really hard to remember, but I remember it being that it's just kind of fill in the blank. So that part hasn't changed at all.
Okay,
Okay, so I guess, this is everyone, right?
except for Otis.
So,
Where did Judge Alfonso go?
she went to go get something out of the office.
You have been?
No, I'm looking for my glasses.
Oh, your glasses, okay.
I didn't see an intended sign there. I didn't see an intended sign there.
It is back there.
Back there.
Oh.
Of course I have it back there.
Okay.
So
I'll go to it.
super organized.
I'll wait in Hollywood.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and call our meeting to order. And so I'm assuming everybody that's here has signed in. Okay, so, has everyone had a chance to read the, minutes?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, do, we have a motion to accept the minutes as dictated? Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Passes, so we now accept the minutes. Okay, so, looks like we're moving on to voting on the co-chairs.
That's correct, Co-Chair Beth.
Co-chair.
That's correct.
Okay, so, how do we want to do this?
Well, we have not had actual official co-chairs since we had both the empty seats. So by our bylaws, we have to have co-chairs for the meetings. So I'm the secretary. I do all of this. And so this is more than I can handle. I mean, unless you want me to, unless somebody else wants to do this and.
Okay,
So there has to be a chair and a co-chair.
Okay, so do we have a nomination for a co-chair?
Well,
All eyes on you.
I nominate Beth for co-chair and Is there somebody else that would volunteer to be the other co-chair? Mag Holland?
I'm the newest member and I think I'm
I think we
ready.
Well,
I don't know if I can take on that much responsibility at the moment.
okay.
Got a
then
lot
that goes
going on.
to-
I feel the same way. I'm trying to get rid of things at work, so.
Okay,
that's-
so,
But I mean, somebody's got to do it.
Somebody has to
so
do
how
it here.
about we do this? How about I will, function as a co-chair at all the meetings, and we also have some vacancies we need to fill, correct?
One vacancy.
One vacancy, so how about we, look to fill that and then
Revote.
revote, because we also have, Odessa is not here.
That's
too.
correct.
And he's not coming today.
Sorry,
He's not coming.
and he's not coming today, so why don't we do that? Is all in favor of that?
Yes.
Okay, all right, well, so move on to, so Captain Otis has been approved, so he is a member. but
Yes,
he's
we
not-
had a little,
He wasn't.
well, we had, Miss Sarah Walker back there brought it to my attention that last year, we don't know how this happened, because she and I both thought that Otis was approved at the one of the board of supervisors meeting in August or something of last year. They didn't have it in the minutes. So we had to go ahead and enter his name again to be official. So this past, August 11th, he was, accepted as part of the Blue Ribbon Committee.
Okay,
So,
okay, so that'll be a good thing to do, to go ahead and fill the co-chair position at our next meeting. Okay. All right, so, that brings us to the open seat. Right?
that's correct.
So, does anybody have a nomination? I know we had kind of talked about.
So I know someone had mentioned Pastor Carnes at the last meeting. I said I would reach out to him. He said, I'm humbled to be considered by the Blue Ribbon Committee. However, I believe the best way for me to serve the children of the coast is to continue on the path I'm on. I'm always available and willing to support the committee in any way y'all may need, but I don't think I can commit at this time.
Thank you.
I'd like to nominate Camille Pino, but she's just here to see what it's all about. I just gave her all the minutes and things. Camille and I worked together for years. We couldn't count the years because we're both getting older, but for a long time with the Rock Foundation, which is Resilience of Coastal Kids, and helping with foster care, helping with getting the needs met, whatever. We've worked with CASA. Camille has worked with MAFAC, which is Mississippi Association for Foster Adoption Kinship Care. She has worked with the Sheriff Department as a grant writer. She now works, she's been 12 years at Senator Wicker's office. She's coached children. We've been in sports together. We have children together. I think I used to babysit her kids. It's been a long time. We've known each other for a long time. And she's really great with resources when, like with the Rock Foundation and things like that. We provided Christmas gifts for children for over 15 years, I know. Worked with worked with local police departments and stuff for children that they identified, worked with the schools for children identified, as well as doing toy drives and all of that stuff. Anyway, I'd like to recommend.
Great resume.
Yeah.
Well, we just got it real quick. I'm trying to remember everything and I'm like, oh. I got on the spot.
And you said she's here. Hi, how are you? I wasn't quite sure. I was looking going, I know some of the folks here. I'm just trying to rule it out, so.
She's the constituent liaison for Senator Wicker.
Okay, fabulous. Is this something you would,
Yeah, I'd like to get a little, just kind of fill it out. I have read through all the documentation. I just kind of wanted to know what exactly you are working on. I have served on other committees that weren't very successful and kind of fell apart. And so, just want to cover my bases.
sure.
We're met with a lot of resistance from CPS. So,
That's why we're here.
yes.
That's why this committee is here.
Right.
No, absolutely. So with what you're stating, let me, for everybody that's new in the audience, I would like to, read to you the purpose and objective of the Blue Ribbon. Give you a little bit of information. Last July 1st, we were, unanimously approved by the Board of Supervisors, to investigate or oversee, child protection, issues that may arise in the community. So, we've been meeting for the last year, and we know exactly what you're saying as far as it's the resistancy of CPS. And so we're trying to bridge that gap of information flow and having a better relationship with CPS. So we are working hard on it. At the hospital, we've made some gains as far as the communication with the hospital on discharge with including the hospital now in the safety plan.
Is that happening?
Haven't been on there in a little bit.
We haven't had another one since the one, but I mean, it did that one time.
There was a safety plan that we had a couple weeks ago for
So
That's
with,
the one.
That's one.
yeah,
Okay.
and so were you
What
guys
happened?
included?
Tell us what happened, Lauren.
So when we told them we were ready to discharge,
Why was it gonna be in the hospital?
there was, there was multiple things. It wasn't just one thing. But, the safety plan, when we asked for the safety plan, it took a bit. But we've been pushing for 24 hours prior to discharge to be able to review it. And it did not come until like time of discharge, basically. Like they provided it, the parents brought it, what we had was not signed, like it was pretty last minute. But we were adamant, we were not going to discharge if we could help it without it, so,
Was it tailored to what the child's needs were?
for the most part.
Well, that's a huge improvement.
Yeah.
That is a huge improvement.
Was it?
That's good. So we've been in existence for the last year and, so we have made, specific gains and, I think possibly maybe better communication between the hospital, yeah. So anyway, our objective, our purpose, the committee was established by the Harrison County Board of Supervisors by unanimous vote. The committee is established to provide oversight, recommendations, and guidance on matters pertaining to the protection of children in Harrison County, Mississippi. Our objectives: to review and recommend policies and procedures that promote efficient and effective governance, to serve as liaison between the community and the local government on issues on child protection, to monitor and evaluate the implementation of policies and initiatives addressing child protection in Harrison County, and to ensure transparency, accountability, and public participation in government processes when addressing child protection. So we understand that it's going to be a process. Anything, when you're working with governmental agencies, it's a process. And it's not something that can be fixed with the snap of the finger or in a 24-hour time frame. It possibly could take months or even years. But I feel very hopeful, and that we have made some differences, and and I think I'm happy with the progress that we made. So just wanted to get that out
Well,
there.
and just what y'all said was huge.
Right, so just wanted to, the new people that are here, just wanted to let you know what Blue Ribbon was, all about. So does that kind of explain? Okay, so I'm sorry, I was told not to digress from the agenda, and I did already.
I guess the big thing is we've made a lot of gains so far with the hospital. There's lots of, future directions to go there too, but we'd like to expand it out to the rest of the community, get, with local pediatricians, not just hospital-based clients, get with the school systems, all of that stuff. Those are, the future directions of the program.
Sorry, Deb.
No, that's okay. So I think she was kind of doing that so that you would have an understanding of what
Yeah,
the
I appreciate
the
it.
mission
Yeah.
statement is, right? I also might add in there is that we actually were created out of or in response to
Yeah.
a situation that had occurred
Right,
is,
I did read all of that.
that's what the impetus was.
They DJ.
Right, to the,
Right.
which that kind of brings us to where I'd like to have, kind of open things up for discussion.
Let me tell you where we are with Baby DJ.
Okay.
Okay, and let me just tell real briefly. Baby DJ was the baby that was allegedly murdered by his parents. He had been born positive. He went to a pediatrician at a few weeks old that reported fractures. And then in 4 months he was killed. According to the news reports, CPS had closed out the case because they said they couldn't find him. They couldn't find him. So we have gone round and around with Baby DJ's law, which is like an Amber Alert. If CPS cannot find the child and the child is at serious risk, it will go out on social media and find the baby. The purpose of it is not to arrest parents or, it's to find the child that's at serious risk now. That's what Baby DJ is all about. Tim Holloman and I have talked, I don't know how many times about it. We have gone round and around and around, and I appreciate Rebecca, letting Tim's the board attorney, let me brainstorm. Tim is convinced it cannot be local and private. It has got to be statewide. He said, what you're doing is an Amber Alert. It's not local and private. It's gonna go out. So y'all, we have got to forge a relationship with somebody in the legislature to sponsor it. And I am begging y'all to find, if y'all have anybody legislatively that can, it's not gonna cost money. What we're asking for is not $1 zillion.
Right.
So, I used to know all the legislators. I just don't know them anymore.
And I think what you just said, Judge Alfonso, is what we need to do. We need to forge relationships with legislators, because there's several things on this list here that is going to require statewide legislature change.
And y'all, if you, like, for example, you hospital people, Kent Nico is very powerful. If we could get the audience with Kent and get him to go to the legislature to sponsor it. You know what I'm saying? If y'all, who do y'all know that can get a foot in the door?
Right.
Beth, we used to know Diane Peranich and Roger
Well,
Rishi. We don't know them.
I remember initially, we did send a letter and actually invited
We did.
the local,
Legislative.
the coast
Right.
legislative.
And we need to, but again, I think it's gonna require, like, Mag, do you know anybody in the legislature, well? Richard
State
did it.
Representative Richard and Carolyn, Carolyn's at Crawford.
Crawford.
There's only two that are my friends that I know.
Are you close, are you good friends with them?
I have a Jackson County senator.
If I could just get them to come to a meeting,
Right.
Or, make
Or
it
just
easy
set up a
to y'all
meeting
go
with
and
them.
meet with them.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
if we could get multiple of them together, that would probably be the best use of
So let
time,
me tell you what.
while
they
they're
did.
not in session, maybe.
It's
That
gotta
would
be
be the
now.
time to do it.
Wait until the end of the year, we're gonna be right where we were last year.
Right, so, what I'm wondering is maybe could you set a meeting with,
What I was gonna tell you, a few years back, Richard got a whole bunch of people and we met together and, discussed some stuff. So if I can get him and he can invite his constituents and.
He can invite anybody, but I think it would be, if we could go to him,
Right.
make it easy.
Yeah, I would be game too.
right, right.
Absolutely.
So
I'll let you know, either that or.
just, maybe we could set a meeting time. And even like just a few, whoever can.
Whoever
come.
can go.
And,
I'll try.
Can you do it within the next couple of, I'm just.
yeah, so it might need to be something
Okay.
soon.
I'll work on it
And be
today.
sure and couch it, it's not gonna cost any money, we're not asking for money. We're just asking for the way Tim sees it, we're really tweaking like the Amber Alert statute,
Right.
which I think is a good idea. You can do it
To
for a
include,
kid.
it would be to
Yeah.
include,
Yeah.
vulnerable at-risk children. I don't
They
see why
do it
that
for
would be hard.
kidnapped kids, they do it for dementia patients.
Right, it's all the
Why
same,
can't they do it for baby DJ?
right. Right,
Would there be a certain criteria that would have to be met to be considered that, right, like you'd have to come up with like a criteria
Right.
that would equal like high risk, right, or whatever you're deeming to be.
It's gonna have to be a judgment call, it's the only way you can word it is it's serious risk of harm.
Yeah. Whose judgment would that be? Who
Well-
determines that, the
CPS,
doctor?
CPS
or
is the one
CPS?
that-
Okay.
CPS, but, you know,
Well, I think it would have to be CPS and youth sport.
Somebody's gonna have to make that decision
so
and say
it's
like,
gonna
this
be a
is it or
judgment
not,
call.
right?
It's gonna be a judgment call.
Okay.
I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, but to me, you know, not doing anything is not the answer, and that's kind of, we've been
Right.
spinning our wheels on this, and now Tim's convinced we can't do it local private, and.
I feel like there should be something else to it though, because if you put it at CPS's discretion,
They may never do
I'm
it.
not sure it's ever gonna happen. So I feel like there would have to be some other, I don't know, because we're not gonna know who they can't locate. So that's the only sticking point to me is a concern that they may never activate it.
Well, yes, but you know, the way this works is the legislator has writers up there. We explain the idea and
they write it.
they write it.
And typically, it's just passing the law, and once the law is passed, then you look at, well, how is it gonna play out? Bottom line, so it's kind of step one, step two, at least that's how it was in Louisiana. You know, the law passes, then they decide, okay, what's the criteria?
Yeah, because then what's the criteria for putting out, like how many contacts do we have to attempt to make,
Yeah.
or what do we have to do for it to be considered no contact? Like how many attempts do we have to make, what ways do we have to have reached out to them for them to decide, now we're gonna activate the button, or whatever, you know, the figurative.
I think what we said, if the baby's at serious risk and the baby cannot be located within 24 hours, is I think what we've said before.
Yeah, later. You'll have, but yeah, just a bunch of criteria that's gonna, it's like,
Yeah.
this, then this, then this, then this, right?
So.
Well, for an Amber Alert, it's kind of, what are the
Right.
rules and who makes
Yeah.
that decision
Exactly, yeah.
on an Amber Alert? So I would think it would be the same method if we're
But I
using
thought-
the same,
Yeah, I thought that was a good idea from Tim to phrase it in terms of tweaking the Amber Alert statute.
right, that's,
I think it's a good idea.
right.
So what's our action plan? We're gonna try between now and the next meeting?
Now in the next meeting,
Yeah,
Matt,
and
if
to get a meeting with, Carolyn and Richard and Jennifer.
Let's just do it separately. Let's go to each one, huh?
They probably didn't wanna go all together.
Whatever y'all wanna do is fine with me.
Just
We'll
like,
start
I-
another one.
just
I think if you can just set,
Yeah.
get with them, let's set a meeting date in between now and
Next
our
weekend.
September meeting.
Are you good with weekends, Judge?
Huh?
Are you good with weekends?
I'm good anytime. I mean, I'll make myself available. Lauren, did you know somebody in Jackson County? I don't wanna rule out Jackson. Who do you know over there?
Jeremy England, he used to coach my son's baseball team.
That would be perfect. I mean, the more the.
That's what I'm just thinking, if you can get more.
Right,
on board,
exactly.
it's
Right.
better.
Look at it, yeah. But you know what? I agree with you. If we rely upon CPS to make the judgment call, how do we know that's even gonna happen?
Well, again, we can't,
I know, but I'm just
You know.
thinking, because,
Guess we gotta get in place first. and
yeah,
then
you're
push
right.
it
Yeah, you're right.
To the reporters.
at
and
least
then-
it'll be
To
on
add
the
it
book.
to the
Yeah.
Amber
So these,
Alert.
I mean,
Yeah,
and if
Virginia.
pediatricians and stuff know that this is available and they're like, hey, this kid's really at serious risk, you need to
Right.
find this kid in 24 hours, they might be able to push the
And-
agenda.
and the time the baby dies and they haven't done it, maybe.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, then if you have the law passed and it wasn't done, then that's a whole nother
it's a whole nother,
level and
I agree with you.
Of accountability.
not that I want that to happen. but-
Right, it's accountability.
What's the length of time? What's the length of time before law enforcement considers a child missing? Because the whole thing with CPS.
On Amber.
I think it's
Currently?
24 hours.
24 hours. Okay, if you got a child missing from CPS, like in school, we had to double refer. We had to refer to CPS and refer to law enforcement at the same time. So the whole thing is, there's your check and your balance with the 24-hour business. Hey, if CPS hadn't located that child in 24 hours, and law enforcement, I know they busy and all, but the whole thing, then you got somebody to go back to, so that kicks them in the butt to say, hey, this needs to be put out. So you gotta double that. I know that's the way we work it, and that way you gotta check and balance.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think they're all great ideas. We just need a legislator to.
Right, to write
Right, right.
that we need to.
Have y'all invited all of them?
Yes.
We did.
Letters were sent out to Kane, initially, and they were not, water's got a bit muddy because as you know, there's already a reporting statute, basically, and who's supposed to make a report, and I think it just got muddied in that water, I think, a bit.
It was Kevin Keltridge, who was the other one that came? I can't even remember.
I would have
Zach, from the Iberville area, Zach.
Yeah, and
Tom
so.
Brady?
Great.
Yeah.
So I kind of got the feeling they did not seem as interested maybe, or didn't have a clear understanding.
Law enforcement, which is, and the purpose of baby DJ is to find the baby.
It's not to arrest the parent or anything.
Yeah, I mean, they got real hung up on the prosecution aspects of it, and
Versus we just are trying to find the
Make
child,
sure
so
that
the
kid's safe
child.
while we tease out the rest of the prosecution stuff and figure out what's a safe environment.
so I don't think we ought to be discouraged, but we're gonna have to get the ear of somebody.
Right, so that's why I was thinking if we try
Yes.
these other folks
That's a
and
great idea.
maybe even, remind them of the letter that was sent.
Or I can send.
I don't know
if
if
y'all
you-
want to, I mean, I don't mind doing them
I don't know
all
if we got
over again.
responses back from the other ones. I think we got a couple
Couple,
responses
yes,
back
we got a
Yeah,
couple
we
that,
got a couple of RSVPs.
that couldn't
that couldn't
come.
couldn't-
Right.
Do y'all wanna
But
try
maybe
it
we
again?
could-
I
Maybe
don't
we
mind.
try
trying
with
to
just
do-
multiple month dates so that it's not just this is the meeting in September, but maybe we just give them the rest of the year or something.
Well, yeah, but see, the whole thing is you wanna have, in order to get the legislation drafted and
It's gotta
it's,
be.
you gotta do that now because that begins
Yeah.
in March,
Jake,
February.
Do you want me to send
January.
out another letter to all of them? I don't mind doing that to the next meeting. See?
Well, I think that that's a plus, but I also think if we
Oh, yes, I'm
can
not, yeah, definitely.
have a sit down, just get a door somewhere that maybe one of them could then say, hey, I'll call my legislative buddy so-and-so and see
And,
if.
and again, I mean, do you think somebody like Kent would open the door for us, y'all?
Well, he also came to the
Yeah,
initial
The
meeting.
initial
May,
stuff,
yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
think
he
it hurts
came to the
try.
initial meeting,
I
so
can
maybe.
reach out to him and just tell him what we're trying to do
Right.
and see.
See
What
if
he
he can
says.
give us an audience.
That might
I'm
be.
sure
Camille, do you have
Senator
any
Whipper could
ideas?
get us an audience with somebody.
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
even, yeah.
yeah, I would definitely put together a meeting. I think it would help to have, Joe Francis, send a letter inviting them.
Could you,
I can do it, yeah.
could you send me a copy of that letter, please?
I'll send it out to y'all before I send it out to have, because it's actually from y'all.
Right.
I just did it, but I'll send it out to y'all between now and next week, and y'all proof it and send it back. I mean, proof it, like, just.
Yeah,
email me
yeah,
and we
then we
know.
can do that. So, okay, so then we have basically a
Plan.
game plan.
yeah, for the DJ. And I, yeah. So, can I talk about the MS code?
Yes, you may.
Okay, thank you.
And I don't have the legal opinion yet.
Okay, that's okay. So I am so bothered by this MS code, Mississippi Code 43-21-301. So I printed it out and I met with someone this week in a meeting that's very familiar with child protection, and they've been involved in some form or another for a very long time. And so I was talking about that I was so bothered by this code that I said, in all honesty, if we just amended, if we were able to just amend this code, it would solve a lot of
Rewrite it.
it would solve a lot of issues. Because I cannot believe that whoever put this together meant for what's happening today in Harrison County, that they're not worried about the parents using methamphetamine or fentanyl or coke or whatever, and they're still keeping the children in there. This was, the purpose of this originally, I am convinced, was for marijuana, not for any of the harder substances.
Well, second point, so your first one, may not be based solely upon positive drug tests of the parent or newborn for marijuana, but may be based upon positive drug tests of other controlled substances only if there's a nexus between the use of the drug and the inability to provide proper care and supervision.
But
So I
that's
guess
very
this is-
subjective.
Yeah, so this is where we have to.
That's the
Right.
second one.
Right, that's the second one. So, and then, you know, that one,
And tell the audience what y'all were talking about. This statute is being interpreted to say that if parents using meth, that's not enough to be. a
there's not enough reason for
CPS to get
CPS
involved.
to remove the child
Right.
and to put the child in state custody. So I, you know, asked several people, you know, what they felt about that, and they go, it's ludicrous. You know, what person in their right mind would say that it's okay to leave a child in a home if the parents are active users of fentanyl, methamphetamine, or coke, or whatever?
I can go up to my office right now. I read a report this week where the father who had the children was positive for cocaine and opiates, but they took no action because it didn't affect his parenting skills.
Well,
Yeah.
this, how,
I don't know.
I mean, I can go get your party right
how
now.
can you take care of a
You
child?
can't.
So this has been such a concern of mine, and I'm thinking, we have to amend this, change it, or something, because if they really read it, and if they knew what was actually being enforced, interpreted by the court system, youth court system, and CPS, they would say that that's not what, I can't believe that they would say that's okay. Or no individual in Harrison County say, we approve of that. I mean, I can't imagine
Well, that's
that.
again what we need to.
Right, so that's what I'm saying, we need to
So
attach
this is
this,
this has to be attached.
this
to that.
has to be attached to it. And then another part of this, Mississippi 31-21301 is the first one. A child is not just listen to what I'm saying. A child is not neglected solely because parent, guardian, or custodian has failed to provide the child with food, clothing, or shelter necessary to sustain life or health of the child when the failure is caused primarily by financial inability, unless relief services have been offered and refused and the child is in imminent risk of harm.
So what they basically did is they removed, what would constitute neglect. So they redefined it.
You define the neglect, so you can't say the basic needs, if the basic needs are not met, you can't say that's.
They're not neglect.
It's just that such a poorly written statute.
It is, so we need to tack this on, and that's why I included it, because it's ludicrous.
Especially with such severe wording like necessary to sustain
Sustain,
life.
yeah.
If you can't provide it necessary, just the basics to sustain life, you're still not neglecting your child.
Yeah, it's,
Well, and then they give the, you know, financial inability is one thing. Then you can access, you know, help them, you know, well, or find out what is the barrier to,
Okay, but what's the financial inability as a result of? Is it because we're spending all our money on
Correct.
drugs?
yeah,
Because then right, like that doesn't make any sense. Like that can
Right.
be classified as financial inability, but there's a greater issue here.
right, so, to also, if they refuse services, so in other words, if they're having the financial difficulty, services are, you know, provided, and they go, oh, no, I don't want it.
Well, I mean, are the services here?
So what are the services?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what are the,
exactly.
is it a piece of paper describing
Is it a
these
referral?
places
Right.
are
That some
kitchens?
of them aren't even open anymore.
Yeah, when some of them.
A lot of them
To me,
unfortunately
handing out a
are frozen.
pamphlet is not services.
services is actual services in the home, or they're being monitored by a provider, you know, something. So I think, you know, honestly, we need to tack this on, because the wording needs to change. It needs to be more defined.
Sure.
It's too,
And that doesn't cost any money
no,
either.
it isn't, it
No,
totally
it's just a
doesn't.
matter of reviewing.
So I
Right.
think that
Tired
definitely
of
would be
it.
on the legislative agenda.
Yeah.
Right,
so-
so, well, with
We'll
that,
add-
then we can address the my kids issue with them.
Again,
Well, the
Let me
my
just say
kids
my
issue
kids,
is another-
you know,
that's-
Well,
I've gone round and around with Tim about my kids
nobody knows who's
too.
responsible for
Nobody
it.
knows who can give chancellors access.
Didn't they say the AOC was,
AOC, I've heard AOC
Blaming
says
each other.
Supreme Court says, I don't know, CPS, I mean, it's the most slippery thing, so I, again, just want it on the legislative agenda.
Yeah, you
Well,
do.
And
that's-
stop spinning my wheels, but just,
Right.
that's a
That's a
separate
separate
thing.
point, yeah.
My kids is the computer system that has all CPS reports on it and all youth court, what youth courts have done. And chancellors, we don't have access to it. So I have to enter a written order, send it to youth court. They have to copy it and send it back. Well, I'm in court like with, what do I do with this kid? You know, I don't have time to wait. And just how ludicrous this is in this day of technology when I ought to be able to sit at my computer. I had a case this week, or not this week, a couple of weeks ago, where I had to order records. There were 14 kids between the two parents. 14 that had, see, I'll tell you who it is later, because you'll know. 14 between the parents that I had to get records on. The box came like this. Do you know how long that took somebody at youth court? I didn't get them to put that together. That's ludicrous.
right, instead of just having access
And
yourself.
so me sitting at a computer and scrolling
Yeah,
and
we
looking.
need only access, that's all you're
For-
asking for.
Does everybody here know what my kids is? Okay, so.
And everybody I talk to can't believe that chancellors don't have access, and yes, we're all for it, and then nobody can tell me how to pull the trigger on it.
Well, yes,
And it's county specific.
It is
Some
very
counties have
county
access
specific,
and some don't.
Yes,
Which also doesn't make sense. It's
which also
easier.
don't make sense.
right, because you could have access, you have access to my kids in Stone County.
Right, if I did the.
If you did the youth court, right,
Exactly, so it makes no sense.
right.
So that's all
Okay,
I
so
legislated. Again,
That's
that
gotta
doesn't
go
cost
on
any-
there too.
Yeah, it has to go, so
So
those,
the three things don't
those
cost any money. Do you know how rare that is to have to sit down in the legislature and say, we're not asking for money?
Right. So, yeah, and maybe if we could try to find the definition too of what the services are.
And this might be on your agenda, so stop me, but since you brought it up, at the same time that you're going forward with the legislators, the committees are still getting formed to address the medical, educational, and your communication issue that is going to the state governor? Is that still, I thought that was something.
right, we're still working on that. I'm working on that with this other person.
Because I spoke with one of the superintendents at one of the school systems.
Right.
and he's- for a
But if
long
we
time,
can, if we
but in no
can,
other-
right, if we can get this
Oh, it
defined, that's
over-
that's gonna solve a lot of our issues. You know, if we can get this,
Rewritten.
rewritten,
Rewritten, yeah.
redefined, because,
Supersedes this.
right, so then what CPS and youth court, this will be the statute that
From the
guides
state.
them, and they can't
It's not vague enough
there's
to
no
make it what you want.
interpretation, there's no interpretation.
So you're still working on those routes?
Yes, we have to do this first.
Sure, okay.
And so, and, yes, good, that's your question.
And so it's gotta be y'all, January's gonna be here before we know
I
it.
know,
And
so
it's
that's
too
why-
late if you're doing it in January. It's
Right,
gotta be done
right.
now.
And my person on the other, that talked to about this, he's working it from a different angle, so let's see who's, so we have this angle, that angle, so surely somebody's gonna be able to listen to us, so we've got two avenues here.
Is there anybody else y'all can come up with that could be an intermediary? I said Kent Pico. I mean, is there anybody else y'all can come up with that could have the ear of, somebody in the legislature?
Well,
Anybody in the audience know of anyone?
What about the board of
Yeah,
supervisors?
that's what I was
Going to the
thinking,
board of
the board.
supervisors.
Oh, no, they're
Well,
yes.
they do anything to help us.
Yeah, they'll do anything
But
to
they may
help
know
us.
somebody as well. I
Right.
mean, they may be part of their looking for the right person, or persons.
do we know of, do they have any scheduled events that we're aware of or
Not that I
anything,
know of.
possibly any kind of, meetings with their constituents that maybe we
Like
could
town
go-
halls or
Yeah,
something,
like that.
I don't know that they do, I've never heard of one. I mean, I just don't know.
Unless they're trying to get elected.
It's not an election year.
My mom, I just asked her, she knows one of the representatives from Gulfport, so she's gonna get me his
Who's that?
contact, Greg Haney.
He's in the
There's
Valley
Joel Carter,
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking of him, and seeing about,
And also look at who sponsored this, this bill and, go back to.
Who sponsored it, say, what were you guys?
No,
No,
no.
we didn't
Oh,
say
the
that, but
the author
yes.
was
yes.
in this.
And also those that signed on to that legislation.
Right.
I mean, that's,
Yeah, and this is how we would like to
Define the
redefine it
offer.
to make it more functional.
and I would also look at, I mean, there
Ah.
are advocates out there that in state legislature that do this. I mean, they are all about kids. They've been proactive in writing legislation to do this. So I would look at pulling them in and that, is just a little bit of research, to look for, that legislation and who spearheaded it, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it looks like amended in 2024.
Yeah, it's
So
recent, so who,
recent.
are y'all looking at who sponsored it?
No, I don't have who sponsor, I'm just looking at
Yeah.
this, I've just
That's
seen the
probably
dates.
online and-
Right,
Yeah,
so,
it
should all be online, so we can look that up and find out.
I'm
And then
sure
I
the
think we need
motives
to
were-
reach out to them, to the authors of this. I'd like to know why they amended this. What was the reason that they did that? And the only thing that does make a certain amount of sense is that it would go to reduce the overall number of children in foster care directly. If we change, so in other words, if we change the definition, then it doesn't get investigated, then therefore,
The
whatever,
numbers go down.
that number goes down, because neglect is the number one precursor to foster care. So that we know. So that would be my guess.
Yeah,
The overall purpose of this was to reduce, therefore reducing the cost.
I think it gives them more room to operate within what the legal confines are. I know like some counties, like Hancock County's had a really, really hard time with the drugs and all that, and that would directly impact
Oh,
how many kids they have in foster care.
absolutely. If you go, they're doing a little math, that's all right, you know?
It's not affecting their parenting
It's
skills.
not affecting their parenting skills.
Right.
Ignore the meth lab in the other room. It's kind of crazy.
That is
Did
the
you
most
add
craziest
something?
thing, I honestly.
Did you want to add something? Wait 1 second, please. Wait, guys.
I had an idea for you. What's that paper you have?
The code.
The code?
Yeah,
Yeah.
video. Nowadays, people watch videos
Uh-huh.
to have a clear view of understanding of why. Maybe that'll help.
You know, that's a good idea.
You know how you see videos with people on meth and they're at work, like at Subway, they have one with the lady, she couldn't function, she couldn't hold her head up. You can point out why versus.
Oh, yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
Another way to capture people.
Sure,
too,
sure.
When they see a video
That's a fact.
to get a better understanding. It's just
Of
an
what
idea.
it looks like. Yes, we
Yes,
have used,
of the
that in
reason
the
why you wanna
past.
change that, it may be a help.
Yeah,
grab a lot of
that's,
people's attention.
you know,
nowadays.
that's a very good idea. Because
Yes.
that certainly would reach more in terms of the public.
Yes, ma'am.
And so that
And
this
we have
becomes
Public
more
outrage, yeah.
of a societal or a community-based problem. And I think
Yeah,
you're
that kind of forces their hand, yeah.
right, because that's how they respond. So
Yes,
it's a
ma'am.
great idea. Thank you.
Great, thank
Do y'all
you.
know what happened to that article that the guy interviewed you on the?
No, but apparently, someone hit NPR, because one of my partners was like, oh, I heard about you on NPR.
Okay, well, I was wondering, I had emailed him and said, can you send it to me? And I never heard back.
I didn't hear, yeah, he never sent me a copy of it either, but
Did
I
you?
hadn't asked in a while.
Well, I'm gonna
so I'm
ask you
sure.
again, that one fella, his name was Hughes, what?
Yeah, I have it.
I would love to
Brandon
have a
Hughes or
copy of
something.
that.
I mean, so you know it came out because.
Something came out, because it was, yeah, on NPR, but I never saw it.
It was a little more,
Did you see
They were
it?
talking
I
about
did.
the
It was-
DJ law apparently.
yeah, but they had a lot of quotes from CPS on it.
Oh, because he tried to make meetings with CPS and it wasn't, they
He
kept
did.
canceling on him,
We did meet
so.
with them.
So what, say they,
Where
so,
did you see it?
I
CMU.
feel like I saw it on Facebook, but I'm not 100%
See, I don't do
sure
Facebook, so I don't know.
who shared. I'll see if I can find it.
Okay, would you do, you will do that, please do, because I'd love
Let's
to
see
see
where we're
it.
at with that. The other thing I was thinking too is I've got some contacts in the American Association of Pediatrics for Mississippi as well, so we can see if they've got some Congress people or whatever. Good
Like state
contacts that way too,
legislators?
Yeah.
That would be a great organization, they'll probably be very responsive.
yeah, that's a great idea.
They would respond to them, because certainly pediatricians are interested.
Right, yes. Okay, so we kind of have a game plan on that, right?
Okay, the game plan is reach out to legislators. Mag is gonna reach out, see if she can get an audience. I'm gonna write letters for the next meeting, send them out to y'all to approve.
I'll look into who are the authors.
That'd be great.
Who sponsored
And-
that?
That'd be
Yes,
great.
who sponsored it.
Beth, what do you think about Joel Carter, us reaching out to Joel Carter?
I think that's what I was saying. I think it would be important to,
Would you wanna do that with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do that. Do you know him? Well, we can reach out to him.
I'll call you.
Okay, let's do that. So,
So we have Joel Carter, Greg Meany, Carolyn Crawford, Richard Bennett, and Jeremy
England.
England.
And Jeffrey Hullum.
And Jeffrey who?
Oh,
But if we're all reaching out and this one wants this date and this date and this date, shouldn't we maybe get a date and say this is when we're gonna do?
it's too hard to try and round them all up, y'all.
I
I was
think
gonna
what we
say,
need to
if
do-
you can set a date with them, just set a date
I'll
for
Yeah,
you.
just set a date,
And then see if Jeannie or you can
Just
send
set
it
a
out
date.
and say, hey.
and
you
whoever
can-
can go, goes.
Right, exactly.
For
As
the
long as
committee.
when it's convenient for them.
Yes.
Yes.
And once we've got a few people that are very interested, then we can get them together maybe for a bigger meeting.
But we tried to do that.
Let's try it
and it
separately.
didn't work.
Yeah, let's do it separately, that we'll go to them. I'm sorry, what?
I was just gonna say, probably more productive to meet separately, and
Right.
then, you know, in the future, as you get down the road, you can bring them all
Sure.
together.
Perfect.
That's a great, okay, so got it.
Okay, so we have that plan, right? Okay, all right, so, the guardianship clinic is going to be,
I really urge everyone here on the Blue Ribbon Committee or audience members to come. It is, I don't even know what to say about it. It is unbelievable how many guardianships are out there, for individuals to take custody of of children, okay, that they don't have parents for one reason or the other. A lot of it is homelessness, a lot of it is drug usage,
Incarceration.
mental health, you know, the whole gambit. So I think we had it 2 weeks ago, we had 13 cases. 13 cases. And I'm amazed we did it all in one morning. I mean, this one will start at 1 o'clock and it's on June 4th, and I just encourage, I mean, September 4th.
I think it's at 9.
Is it at 9?
I think so, yeah.
The one I had on my
I don't
calendar
have
was one.
I
I
think
think
we
it's
changed
out
it
before.
I thought it was at 1
because we're
o'clock.
not doing any reviews. So I'll
Okay,
get with y'all.
Okay, but I really encourage because, you know, that's,
You get to see what's going on in our
you get to
community.
see what's going on in the community and what these folks are faced with no help from CPS. And a lot of these times, and one grandparent in particular just touched my heart. She had, you know, she lived with her daughter, and so her other daughter was incarcerated, and she had 3 children, like 1, 2, and 3, and a brand new 4-day-old baby, okay? So CPS, tells this grandmother who's, you know, I don't know how old she is, but anyway, she's, you know, grandmother, gives her all 4 of the children, including the 4-day-old. She has nothing, no diapers, no formula, no clothing, nothing, absolutely nothing. And because of the generosity of a company, we were able to bring her things to help her at least for a couple of weeks to take care of this baby.
And keep in mind, CPS picked up the baby from Rankin
From
County
the prison.
Hospital,
Yeah,
4 days old. By the time she came to the Guardian Clinic, the baby was 6 days old. So she had a 6-day-old, a 1, 2, 3-year-old, no papers, no way to get Medicaid, no way to get food stamps, nothing. And all we're doing, and I hope somebody is listening to this, because I know we are perpetuating another cycle of poverty in Mississippi, is all we're doing. That is all we are doing. What kind of a chance do those 4 kids have? When had they put them in foster care for 1 day, they would at least have free junior college. Yeah, foster care 1 day.
What's the purpose of the clinic? I'm sorry. What's the
I keep
purpose of
those
the
numbers down there.
I'm sorry.
The purpose of the guardianship.
the purpose is to give give a legal paperwork, documentation to the caretakers so they can get them in school, medical help, and, you know, all these things.
And Section 8 housing
Section-
will kick them out if they don't have legal
Legal
papers for the
paperwork,
child.
yeah.
You know, puppies have legal papers.
Right,
Yeah.
so all these folks, and, you know, gosh, I don't know how many
So
we
we're
do.
denying these children healthcare and
That's
education.
right, but they're not neglected.
Well, that's right, because
Yeah.
go back to this,
Yeah.
so we have to address this.
So that's what I'm saying, if we address this, then a lot of things will change.
Okay, so let's go ahead, let's, because we are,
Dr. Adolph called me with the exact same situation as why she called me. How many did the pick up the deposit?
What is it? This was Hancock, Harrison County,
Picked them up in Harrison.
because it was, interstate compact, but a worker was not assigned from Harrison County to see them. I mean,
I didn't get a worker for 3 weeks.
oh, you know, I mean, it's
Wow.
like
That, nobody
like-
checking.
Tallahatchie, Tishomingo County. What is it? Not Neshoba. Knoxville, they are sending their children here to foster homes, but you don't have a compact where you have a worker coming in to see them. You got this worker, because it's a travel deal. So they wanna come to the coast. But if something happens to the child in school, they wanna say, call the foster parent, but you don't have that paperwork. Cause we require in Harrison County, hey, bring me the paperwork, you know, but they didn't wanna do it. They had never heard of that. But y'all, I need to bring up a
Yeah.
question about, my concern is about children where they don't place them in a foster home, but they put them in a hotel by themselves with a caretaker 12 hours a day from this hour to this
Virginia, they're
hour.
not doing that. That's what they say.
Yes, they are.
Licensed,
Oh, yes, they are. They
Mom
are
licensed
doing it.
workers.
Yes, they are.
We all know,
Yes,
yeah,
they
we all
are.
know they're doing it.
Harrison County Schools, we got kids in hotels, the bus picks them up at the hotel, we had one that was abused. I jumped stumps, you know.
Yeah.
So then they moved the child to George County. They were driving that child, he had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, they drove him to Deauville High School. Because we were burning their behinds, about this kid, and he had a chance. He had a chance.
You know, I think what the problem is that we're all talking and we all are aware of what's going on, but the public doesn't know, you know, what is going on. And I think with what you're saying is a video, and I think that how can we get this message out to the public that in their backyard, this is what's happening to
Children
the
are in
children.
hotels.
That, this is what's happening, and it's a travesty. It's just, I cannot imagine, it breaks my heart to think that kids are sequestered, in hotels and they can't get out to breathe the
And-
fresh air and play and go, that's unacceptable. It's like a caged
And they
animal.
have a caretaker coming in every now and then.
Right. That's been a practice that's gone on for, quite some time now, long time. And part of that has had to do with not having, foster placements that would take these children. Some of these are very, they have multi-pronged problems, mental health issues that go unaddressed. That's a huge issue right there with our foster children.
There's a bigger issue with the foster care system though in itself. They make it too hard. I understand you can't make it easy, but even for families who really are trying, the amount of hoops that you have got to jump through is wild. And then on the backside
To
of
be a
it,
foster care.
but then on the backside of it, when they wipe their hands clean because you've actually passed, then they don't want to provide the support when you actually get the child. Who would want to do that?
That's-
Nobody. Nobody wants to do
Correct.
that.
That's been a chronic, that has been a chronic issue.
Everybody looks around like, why do we have more foster families? That's why.
Right,
Nobody wants to do that.
right,
It's
and
way
it
too
is,
hard.
right, and it is, the support is and has been, very minimal. I think because there's, a foster care licensed person, they only deal with the licensed
Uh-huh.
person. They don't deal with, nope, we don't
But
deal
then you
with
get
the
a
child.
caseworker.
We have the caseworker, but the
But-
caseworker doesn't deal with that.
And then when you
yes.
move to adoption, you get a new worker.
Then you get a new
You
person.
get a whole new person. It's too many,
Right.
it's too much. Nobody wants to do that.
You're exactly
I
correct.
think they,
It's,
you
that's a
can-
systemic issue.
Correct.
That has.
I know
been
we're
a
not gonna
problem.
make strides there, but I'm just saying, like,
Well, no,
you're looking
no, I
around
mean, they're-
wondering about these things. Nobody wants to foster.
Sure, and,
They've been working on that.
So I was a
I've
foster,
been doing this.
Well, that's
20
when we
years.
lost
Exactly.
Rescue 100. Rescue 100 worked.
right, so that's another thing.
I was a foster mother for 18 years. When I adopted my last little boy, I decided to let my license go because he was young and I wanted to spend a lot of attention with him. And so I went back to get my license. I started the process in July of 24. Did not get it until March of 25, and only because they had a high-risk teenager that they wanted me to take. And so, yeah, it's something that's got to be streamlined. I mean, you gotta, like you said, you gotta be careful. You can't just put a child in
Yeah,
there.
you can't put them anywhere. I get that piece.
But
But I'm
18
not saying
years-
like make it easy, but
18 years you were good. enough.
Right.
there's
Yeah.
gotta be something better than what's happening.
And you were good enough when they had that child and they put that child in the home without you being licensed.
Well, that's the whole other problem, is that even if you don't have your license and you'll take kids, then they don't push it through for you to become licensed, that you're still
Because they're
weeks and
saving
months.
money, so when
So you
the
don't spend that
Exactly.
money.
child
But
came
that's
to
a
me
problem.
December 2nd, but I didn't get paid until March. Like, I couldn't get paid for all those months she was with me because I didn't have license.
And let me tell you what else they say, they intimidate them. Like, let's say this grandmother we were talking about with 4 babies, they'll say, well, we may have to put the children in foster care because you're not licensed and maybe you can't be licensed. Well, my point is, let's try and license her. If she can't be licensed and she still wants the kids, fine.
Right,
But
Try to
you're
license
you're
Right.
chilling her efforts to become licensed.
right.
From the get-go, by that intimidation was, well, you may not get the kids.
Right.
They don't
And
have
that's
foster
how they
homes,
start that relationship.
but- That's right.
Right,
I'm telling you, that's, they're intimidating these grandmothers, they're scaring them.
right.
Every one of them in the guardianship clinic, I bet you they've been scared.
Well, and I would say 90% of the cases that we had in that guardianship clinic had CPS history.
95.
Yeah,
without
90,
doubt.
yeah, they had CPS
Without
history,
doubt.
history.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Okay, so let's, so we know where we're going with that. The vulnerable adults, and I know that you brought that up
I would like for y'all to take that on, but I understand that you can't because I'm hearing the same complaints that I hear in child protection with vulnerable adults. And if there's a twist to vulnerable adults, and that's the monetary exploitation, they're stealing.
Right, right,
I
right.
had someone come to me this week, I have probably in the month, I have at least one or two people that call me, and I met with someone this week about a vulnerable adult situation. And,
Financial exploitation. you know.
Financially.
yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna check into it.
So we can table, I think if we can go ahead and focus and
Right.
keep it, certainly
keep it
on the agenda for an item that we can, know that we're
Right.
wanting to revisit. But then
We've got a lot of child.
Right,
focus
I
on
agree.
these other.
I mean, to
Right
me, the
now.
other three things y'all talked about, legislative, so.
That's gonna
Y'all can change the
take a
whole
good minute.
system
Right.
with those three things.
So is there any other discussions? Okay, so, we have a letter that was sent to us, the Blue Ribbon Committee. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to review that. It's quite lengthy. I'm assuming, Jeannie, this went to you.
Yes, ma'am,
Can you give us, it's, very lengthy, actually.
it is, and Right.
Appears to be
it is lengthy, and we've,
6-page.
Right,
with
it is.
images.
that's right. I talked with him, and it's, in a nutshell, it's been an absolute nightmare for him. Yes, now this is from his communication with me. This is the father of the children, has definitely dropped the ball numerous times, and, he just wants some resolve. He just wants some accountability from CPS. And if you guys, I mean, I know it's after
Yeah.
two, but if you guys could read this thoroughly for next.
Well, that's what I was
next-
gonna
yeah,
say.
next-
So this has
next-
now been submitted, so
Right.
if everyone.
Thoroughly read that,
Right.
and
And we
if
can-
we want to invite him here to tell his story, just let me
We can add
know.
into.
Is
the
he
agenda.
local?
Yes,
My only concern is that we specifically said to the board of supervisors that we weren't going to investigate specific cases. This was more about general oversight and policies and procedures and not investigating specifically into specific cases and trying to get resolution.
well, I don't think we said
That's
that
the
with
only thing.
specific cases. I think that this is a perpetual problem. It's a policy.
I guess I just don't.
I've worked with this family.
Huh?
I've worked with this family. We have helped this mother.
You never know.
I don't know. I don't know. He just reached out to me. I talked to him, and they're from out west. They're from out west. So just, just read it
I'll tell
and
you
we
what,
can
we can-
discuss it.
We'll go ahead, we'll do the,
And it may not be appropriate for the committee.
well, we still have to provide a response.
Right, exactly. So I have
So-
not responded.
right,
So
so-
we need to,
We need
It
to
may
at
not
least
be-
let him know that we have,
right.
because this is,
Is it a CPS case only or is it a chancery case?
No, I think it's CPS. So read it, and if, at the next meeting, we can decide if it's something that is for this committee or not.
right, well, certainly one thing we could sit and at least, say, hey, we've gotten.
And we've
received
addressed
this and
it,
it's under
right.
review.
Right, we've addressed it.
All right, so, and then the Reverend Stephen Bearden?
Yes. Judge Alfonso, how did you get this letter? The one with.
Didn't you send it to me?
No.
I don't know, gosh, I think somebody.
I received it from, it was addressed to the board of supervisors, and then you sent it to, or Joy sent it to me or something.
Oh, I know how we got it.
Okay, how did you,
She sent it to Joy, the court administrator.
the court administrator, Jennifer did?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you,
So we need to review this
yeah,
as well.
just review
Okay,
that for
all right.
next.
So if everybody could review, and we'll put these. with
Good
the-
points to have when we meet with the legislature.
Pardon?
It's good points to have when. we meet
Yeah,
with the
he has some very good points on here.
I thought it was very well.
Yeah, I do too, absolutely.
Okay, so, the Memorial Hospital report?
I do,
Ah.
so for 2025, in July, we had 9, reported CPS reports. Puts us at 103 for the year 2025.
Are y'all getting any feedback as to what happens to the children on these reports?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were asking me.
I mean, I don't know, you know, because they.
The feedback that we get is while the baby is with us and it's trying to work and make that as seamless as possible, it is better than it has been in the past. It is not great.
Do you know what happens when they go home?
Once they're gone. So, yeah, we're trying to stay really on top of them prior to discharge. There's a case today that I've been dealing with all morning, trying to make sure, because we were told CPS was gonna close the case, the baby's discharged, and it's not a good situation. But like today, we had to go kind of outside of the normal run of things, to make sure that CPS did not close that case. So we're trying really hard to make sure that that case is open, if at all possible, that there's a safety plan, that there's resources in place.
Have we talked to Val at, Newport? That's usually what I do in those situations.
I did not today, I'm flying solo. I am Cindy and me and a few other people, but I did reach out to Mona, who is out of the office, who then got me in contact with Christine, talked to Christine, and then got a message back from a Dwayna, who assured us that the case is not closed.
It's Harrison County.
It is Harrison County.
They just have a blanket answer of, we'll provide resources and support services, and that seems to be the new answer. And that's what was said on this for a long time. And so when we heard this morning that it was gonna be closed, it's just like, what else to do?
The social worker Felina came in immediately to my office and we took it and ran with it. So I think that we've got a good resolution, but my concern is we shouldn't get to that point. We should have a good seamless.
Not as much as we talked about this case.
Or getting CPS to come up timely, communicate, let them know, or let us know that they're coming, because our department's responsible for being there, you know, while they're there. You know, so that it's not 5 o'clock on Friday and we're sitting around waiting for them, which has happened many times.
Sure.
Happened a couple of weeks ago.
I thought y'all were gonna do something about it, you know, they say we're gonna provide services in the home, which sounds wonderful. I thought y'all were gonna look into, okay, tell me what the services are, is that 15
Yeah,
minutes?
that's what we're
of
hoping.
the-
Right, that's what, so that's what I wanted, to bring everybody's attention to, is the safety plan. I know I have not had an opportunity, I've looked this over, and just look, I guess the questions that I have initially, is this given out now? Is
Here's the
this
safety
something
plan
that
if
you
anybody
guys are
wants
getting?
it.
This is what was brought to us on the day of discharge.
And it's completed?
Absolute last minute.
It was
Wait, where
not,
did this come from?
it was
Oh,
not
Lauren brought
initially signed by the parents or the worker, and
So she
we
just covered
pushed
all
for
of
that.
the Actual,
Information.
yeah.
Right.
So she just made it a blanket.
Sure, and that's actually very helpful for me, to at least see what they're looking at. So, now, so they are providing you guys with a copy.
This has been one time though, so I don't wanna say, yes, we're fixed on that, because
So we're
this
gonna
has been
keep that.
one time, and it was extremely difficult to get this. So, and it was
Okay,
the last minute, not beforehand. If it had not addressed the big concerns we had, I don't know what we would have done at that point.
So y'all have got one completed one of these.
which is how we got the copy.
Um,
This is what we've been waiting for, just for everybody's knowledge that's here. We had been requesting a copy of what their safety plan is, or just the form, whatever. And, that went round and round and round, just to even get it an empty copy, so I guess what they were able to do is take theirs, cover up, you know, the
Is that the one that y'all
identifiers,
use?
I just covered it up, yeah, and printed it.
identifiers, and this is what it is.
And
And
there's
this is
nothing
what we
private
did.
on that,
There's-
it's.
these
yeah,
are great.
there's nothing to it.
I mean, it's
This is
great questions, it gives on, which is
It's
what,
great questions if they actually
Fill it out.
fill it in and address the questions. That's a lot of the concern though, is that
so they're not actually
it's on the worker to
to
Fill
do
it
their
out.
job, to complete this. Okay, so,
And I thought safety plans were only to last 30 days, is that right? So how do you address a serious issue and solve it in 30 days?
right,
They
well,
also
and-
won't put
What
them
is
in
the
place
beginning and
until the
end
day of
date?
discharge. They won't put them in place until the day of discharge either. So if you have some concerns that need like, you could be testing parents, you could be looking at what they're doing, they could
Getting
be
them into a
starting
program.
their
Yeah.
work on whatever they're doing, and none of it will start until the day of discharge. And why we don't do that for the 1 to 2 months that they're with us, I don't know.
yeah, so it goes into how will the plan be monitored and evaluated by whom? What is the beginning, ending date imposed, so that, I don't know if it's a 30-day, or I guess they could put anything.
It's
And
30 days. I've actually.
it's
30 days. that's
30
what I'm
days.
telling you.
okay,
Here,
And
so I
so-
know the answers to this.
okay.
So my
And-
problem with safety plans is I don't think that they're addressing problems that can be addressed in
In
30
30 days.
No.
It's not a long-term goal.
They don't.
No,
But maybe they just reevaluate at the end of that term, but we don't know that for sure. Like you do 30 day
More days.
episodes.
yeah, and this is a completely and totally voluntary plan. So if a parent does not want this,
Or
They-
does not do what it says.
There's something on there that
basically they
says,
say it's, we
under what
understand,
conditions we terminate the safety plan?
right. We don't know what that, but the fact that this is actually a voluntary, like,
I'd like to see what the consequences of
what
not
happens if
following
they,
it is.
or what happens if they don't enter into a safety plan? What if they go, yeah, I don't wanna do that? What's plan
Or
B?
they go put them in custody, we know that's not happening.
Well, okay, so to kind of expand on that a little bit, in this particular one, without identifying anything, it says if the mother's left in a supervisor position, the judge can terminate at any time. Terminate, I guess, the situation.
But that's also up to CPS to
How are they
find
going
out
to know?
how.
How are they
Because
gonna-
the people that are a part of this were also never going to say a word.
Correct. So it's a great plan on paper, but what is it really? Is it worth more
The
than the paper's
responsible
written on?
party also did not live in this house. They lived down the street.
And so they were supposed to stay in the house 24 hours.
They
a
were
day.
supposed to move
There's-
and live there?
They're supposed to be responsible that mom was not left alone from down
They
the
lived
street.
on the street?
Well, where did the kids live?
With mom.
But mom wasn't.
There was someone else in the house,
So the second.
but who was also not able to be the safety plan responsible party.
Because of background.
Yeah.
Checks.
But I mean, this person did not live in the same house. So how they will ever know and ensure that this was not happening. So I say it's good in theory, but it was not gonna solve anything.
Yeah. So,
So
okay,
essentially, this baby's probably just as vulnerable without the safety plan.
what's also interesting, this must not be an agency-wide policy because it has no number. Anytime a state
As an
agency,
official form.
correct, anytime they use a form, they have the number. Mhm, on what that is. And it just says DFCS policy, but it doesn't say policy number, what, revised when. No, because typically in their policy procedure manual, they'll have a definition of it. They give you the number of the form. They go by numbers for everything. So, yeah, so I don't even know if this is statewide or just because we were asking for it, that somebody created it.
Yeah.
And we've not really ever been able to meet with, the commissioner, Ms. Sanders.
Are y'all, why don't y'all read?
Hey,
Invite her.
Actually, on the original copy, it does, it's Form DFCS
Ah.
509,
Okay.
Section B revised.
509.
What,
Yeah,
it says
509,
revised when?
5313.
Oh, so where'd they get this? That's
I don't
from
know.
2013.
I've never seen one of these before.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, where'd they get
I
this?
know that one, sorry, I was like, I couldn't
Okay,
show you
I
that
didn't see the
name.
word.
Okay.
I was like, I'm saying the department, no, I didn't wanna see the name, I'm sorry.
I'm confused, and I don't wanna let them, but these are children that are in CPS's care, go to the hospital, right?
No,
No.
no.
These are,
Okay,
this
that's
is a
it.
child that's born that there's
They
been,
just enter, okay, got it.
right,
Never
that
been
I
there's,
was confused. It's
They've
like,
never
how
been
can-
home yet.
Okay.
right, that there are issues of,
Now it makes sense, because I was thinking they are already courts, they go
No,
here, how
no,
can they
no,
not follow
no.
this data?
yeah, no,
Okay,
no.
Brand new baby.
correct.
Why don't
So-
y'all invite him to?
I think we should. Or even if she can't come here, which obviously there's been issues with that, maybe we could schedule a meeting,
Zoom or something.
exactly.
Make a
Some,
day of it and meet with some legislators at the same time.
right, well, it's been, we have had several, just to let you know, we've had several meeting dates set. And one which got canceled, the last one literally that day, which is not, which is in really poor manners, I would say.
What?
Just
Can
add
that be mentioned to the legislators that what you tried and that has
Yes,
not gotten response?
It
Yes.
got a lot of coverage at that
Oh,
time.
we did get a lot of coverage the day that they.
That they were-
Didn't even give us 24-hour notice.
well, yeah, we weren't given 24, it actually came that morning or something like that. And this was after it had been set, canceled, reset, canceled.
The press was here at Sexby.
Right, so, so that's kind of been what our problem is.
Because we want to sit down, you know, this committee is not to point fingers, it's to solve issues, to resolve problems together. And, right, open up communication. So we were hoping that when Ms. Sanders did come, that we could say, okay, these are the issues. And we even gave her the list of questions that I think there was what, 10, 12, 13 questions, and we gave them to her beforehand. So she could have something already.
Well, why doesn't she designate somebody to come to these meetings? We need a liaison with CPS.
Well, we
CPS has
had
to-
one for a while, I don't
So
know.
why don't,
Robert used to come.
can you
And
ask,
Gwendolyn.
can the committee ask her to please designate someone that will come to the meetings? Because they would have that continuity of what goes on every time.
Right. Yeah,
As chair, can you?
as chair, I'll go ahead and write,
An email to
an
her?
email to her.
To please designate somebody from Harrison
Right.
County.
Because again, we're trying to collaborate, we're not
Yes.
trying to alienate, we're trying.
And we can't collaborate if nobody comes.
On another note, the CPS has partnered with the National Center on Substance Abuse and Child Welfare to do plans of safe care.
Oh, good.
So they've gotten a grant for it, and there's a meeting next week to start that. It's a online, like a Zoom.
Is it for anybody to attend the Zoom?
Virtual meeting of county partners to provide an overview of plans of safe care, facilitate discussion on how counties can be supported
Can you
as
send that
they
to
improve
us?
collaboration to support the families.
Can you send that to us?
I think that's the one, is that not the one that Judge Dickinson?
That's like what we met.
Started, yeah.
Yes, at, after the Board of Supervisors meeting.
Is that the same one that we went to on that Friday?
It's the same, yeah, same group.
So it's-
So if you can see the direction they're going.
Yeah.
So what is the date?
The 22nd from 10 to 11.
August 22nd from, can you send us would you send that to us so we know how to get on the link and all that?
I have your email in my phone, so I'll send it to you if you.
Okay,
want
I
to
can send that to you.
Were you going to attend? Okay, so maybe
I would like to attend, but I have court that. I would love to hear what they're, I would love to hear.
Yeah, well, if we all couldn't, I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know,
they-
are we all invited?
Yeah, I can at least talk
But anybody can attend, correct?
about it. I would assume so. I don't see why not.
The whole plan of that is to try to get moms that have addiction issues while they're pregnant to get into some sort of program, try to get clean while they're pregnant. And then hopefully that continues on after, which in theory is a wonderful idea.
If it can work that
If it
way,
can
then
work, and we've
yes.
got that's the only other thing with Mississippi is having the support services to actually give these women the support they need to get clean.
I think that's a great idea while we're pregnant.
Who is
Yeah.
heading this?
And get them into prenatal care, because that's
Judge
another thing that we
Dickinson
struggle with too. They're not getting the
and,
prenatal care that they need. either.
Children and Family Futures is like the group that they're partnering with.
That's next week, correct?
Yes,
Next Friday.
yes.
And you said at what time?
Children and Family Futures.
It's a Zoom meeting.
I did get a grant for it. I'm not sure what all that includes, but.
So it would have a dial-in, I would think. You would have to dial in and enter a passcode.
I don't think it's dial-in.
On the computer.
You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I'm thinking like AOL dial.
It's not dial-up.
Okay.
And actually, I still have an AOL address, I'm just saying. So,
There's a link, but I don't see a passcode. Oh, there's a meeting ID and passcode, but it's on what I sent too.
Okay, all right. And that is at 11, 10 on August 22nd. Okay, so those who can watch it or attend, that'd be great.
And report at the September.
Yeah. Report September 19th. Okay, does anybody have any questions that they would like to add? I know we really kind of ran over, so I'm really sorry about that. Anybody have? anything? Oh, okay, so a motion to adjourn? Make a second, okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, so we have our marching orders for September 19th.
You have to get something out to get somebody to come to these meetings as fast as possible.
I am, I'll do